Alright, so it's been a while since I did a regular cast. I have tons of topics. Well, had tons of topics, I should say. I don't really have them in mind anymore. It's been so long that I kind of just forgot about them, I guess. But I figured in this one I'll just talk about just a couple random things and take it from there. I'm thinking this might actually be really short. Obviously, per usual, I'm on my ride to a vendor to pick up some stuff. So it's about 20 minutes there. So that might be how long this is. I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was an update to the seasons cast that I made, if you listened to that. So I said that summer was my favorite, winter's my least favorite, and then spring and fall are kind of just there with more of a preference towards spring than fall. But I made that in summer, and then as fall came, I started to think about things. I was like, you know what? It still applies, but I think there's a few more, what's the word? What's that word? Like amendment. What's that word? I don't know. It means amendment. Addendum. What's the word? I don't know. You know what I mean, though, probably, right? So anyways, the first thing is, well, I do hate about summer is, I think I said this. Man, it's been a long time since I made that one, so I don't even remember what I said. But one is the bugs. I hate the bugs, which this summer, actually, we kind of got ripped off. It either was super humid, so you weren't outside anyways, or else it was literal thunderstorms. Every time I tried to go swimming with my daughter, it ended up being a thunderstorm, and we'd have to leave because it's all lightning out, and that's dangerous when you're in a giant body of water, because we go to a lake, so it's just a giant open body of water, and there's some lightning. Hey, what's up? You want to swim? Zzz, have fun being fried. Actually, I don't even know if that's as much of a concern as like we all perceive it to be. Because think about it, like all the fish and stuff aren't dead, so it's like, does lightning even hit water? I don't know. I feel like lightning just likes to hit tall things like trees and stuff. Water's just way down at the ground, so it probably doesn't care. You know? I don't know. Anyhow. But, yeah, so one thing is, I was thinking about the bugs, though. Bugs are annoying. Like, when you're trying to, like, I think about when I was a kid and you try to be playing baseball or basketball with friends or something, and you got 9 billion mayflies and gnats going in your eyes and going in your ears, and then, like, you're sweaty. So it's like you got the annoyance of the sweat mixed with the annoyance of the bugs, and it just makes, like, a frustrating situation when all you're trying to do is have fun. So I hate those. I hate at night, too, the mosquitoes. Oh, man, I don't know what's up with it, but, like, as soon as 8 o'clock rolls around, all of a sudden it's, like, mosquito central. And it's so weird, because there's times where I'm sitting outside, like at my mom's, on her porch, and it's fine. You're fine. There's nothing. No bugs, no nothing. It's good. You're just sitting there relaxing, kind of watching the sun go down. And then all of a sudden, you're infested with mosquitoes, and it's always, like, right around 8 o'clock. It's like, how do these... What's the... I don't know, the scheduling for a mosquito. Obviously, they don't know it's 8 o'clock, so what makes them come out at that time, though? So anyways, that's something I don't like about summer, for sure. I also don't like humidity. Yes, I like warm weather, but I like dry heat. Like, I feel like living in Arizona or something would be cool, because it's hot, but it's just dry hot. It's not all humid, because, like, it's weird, because if you live in an area where there's not much humidity, then you don't understand. But a 70-degree day, just dry heat, is, like, comfortable. It's almost perfect weather. But a 70-degree day with high humidity is brutal. I don't know if you heard that. Some moron's beeping. I don't know from where or why. There's some construction going on with a guy directing traffic. Yet some moron's beeping. Like, what do you think we're going to do? His sign says stop. What, I'm supposed to just ignore it and blow through it? It's a construction zone. Like, you can't just casually blow through. I don't know what kind of dickhead's beeping behind me. I mean, I'm not even the first car either. There's a guy in front of me. So, like, what are you beeping for? Are you that retarded? Hey, look, road work. I think I'm going to beep. We should be moving. Why aren't we blowing right through this? Why aren't we running these guys over? Why aren't we causing an accident in this one-lane road that they created for their road work? Duh. Why are people so stupid? You know what? I don't want to jump off the summer thing, but that's something I just thought of now, too. And that's the whole point of this cast, just for me to talk, is drivers. Why are people so retarded when it comes to driving? It's like somebody could be smart in person, and then all of a sudden they get behind a wheel, and for some reason they become the most stupidest person ever. Like, when I drive, it's like I always have to not only pay attention for myself, but I have to pay attention to the dickheads around me. Like, I swear, there's been a couple accidents that have been avoided because I was paying attention to the people behind me. And I noticed that they were kind of driving too fast, so I was able to calculate what I needed to do to avoid them slamming into me. Like, I'm talking about, like, at a light or something. Like, they were just creeping up, and I was like, there's no way that this isn't going to happen. Or, like, in winter. Oh, my word. These morons think, oh, yeah, I can just drive like, oh, I got four-wheel drive. I'm invincible. No, you're not. Just because you have 4 tires moving doesn't mean that you can't skid. Now you just have 4 tires. Now you have twice as much chance of skidding, actually, because you got 4 tires moving instead of just 2. Obviously, 4-wheel drive is supposed to help. It's a joke, what I'm saying. But there is some logic to a certain extent. You know, if you could skid with 2 tires, well, you got 4 tires moving, now you can skid with 4 tires. I just hate it. Like, I know some people that throw it in 4-wheel drive and think they're invincible, and they go like 95 on the highway when it's snowing out, and it's like, this isn't a very good plan. Just because you got 4-wheel drive doesn't mean that your car is all of a sudden in God mode and nothing's going to happen. And actually, things end up getting worse when something does happen because they're driving so stupid. You know, they're going 95 instead of going 40 like everyone else. So when the people that were going 40 crash, they get a little dent in their car. Versus this idiot going 95 crashes, they get a little dead. But anyways, that's not only the problems with people. Why are people so stupid in the sense of, like, every single time that I'm on a road and it's just me, nobody around, nobody's in front of me, no one's behind me, and these dickheads want to go the same way I'm going, they always cut me off last minute. Like, you couldn't have waited literally 3 seconds for me to get by and then you could just casually go. You had to cut me off. There's no one behind me. You weren't fighting any traffic at all to wait 3 seconds. What is this, a light? Dang it. But yeah, you weren't fighting any traffic to wait 3 seconds. You had to cut me off and borderline cause an accident. I'm on this main road cruising, going 45, 50 miles an hour. You're coming off of a side road from a dead stop, and you want to cut me off when I'm about 20 feet away from you. And you're only going 10 miles an hour, and I'm going 50. That seems smart. And it's all the time. It's like, I've always said since my first car, what do? Drive around with a sign on my car that says, please try to cause an accident with me? I never understand the dumb logic that these people have. Or when it's like, so that's when people are on the same side as me. Now there's people that are like taking left, so, you know, they're on the other side of the road, but they're crossing over to get the same way as me. And same situation. There's nobody on their side of the road, nobody on mine besides me, and they find it necessary to cut me off. It's like you literally couldn't have waited 2 seconds. I mean, you get 2 seconds to have to wait because you're crossing over the road. So that gives you that extra second that the other guy needed 3 seconds for. You couldn't wait 2 more seconds before you went and just ended up behind me. You had to cut me off. The only redeeming factor here is that most times when people cut me off, at least they kind of gun it. So, like, yeah, you're a dickhead, and thanks for making me lock them up for no reason when you could have just waited, but at least they'll kind of gun it. The worst is when you get one of these morons who cuts you off and then thinks, oh, I'm just going to take my time. Like, really, motherfucker? I was cruising. There's no one else on the street but me and you. And now I got to lock them up and go way slower than I was doing because of you. And keep in mind, too, I'm not somebody who's usually, like, flying. I typically do speed limits. Just naturally happens. Sometimes I'm cruising on a road and then I see a cop and I'm like, crap, I don't know what the speed limit is here. And I'm going like 50 and I'm like, oh man, that's probably way too fast. And then I find a speed limit sign and it says 45 or it says 50 and I'm like, oh, okay, I was actually doing exactly what I should be doing without realizing. But anyways, point is though, is if I'm going 50 and this moron cuts me off and they're only going 30, that's annoying. You're not even doing the speed limit. I don't know why people are so stupid. Or that rolling nonsense at a light. Oh my word, I hate that too. You're at the light, just sit there. What are you rolling for? You know, you rolling isn't going to make the light change any faster. You being antsy isn't going to make it be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll let you go. I'm green now. The light doesn't care. It's it's either on a timer or it's on a I don't know, weight sensor or something. I don't really know how lights work. But it's on something. And if it's the weight sensor and you're rolling, well, now all you're doing is getting yourself off of the sensor. So now chances are it's going to take longer to change because it feels like, oh, it's a lighter load over there. I'll keep this traffic moving because it's heavier. Just sit there, though. It's so dumb. Like, sometimes I'm behind somebody and they're rolling and, like, I sit there. I don't roll with them. I'm like, that's stupid. Once in a while, I accidentally roll because I don't realize. Like, they start rolling and I think the light changed. And then I'm like, oh, whoops, the light didn't change. They're an idiot and they threw me off. So now I look like an idiot too. But sometimes when I actually notice that the light didn't change, I sit there and the gap between us ends up becoming so huge that, like, you could fit another car in between us. And I'm like, that's just so unnecessary. Like, the cars started out perfectly behind the line where they should be, and now they're, like, way over it, and they're in the middle of the road, and it's like, do you not realize how retarded you seem? Just sit there! What's even worse, or at least I think it's worse, is when they do all this rolling, oh, I'm way in the middle of the road now, I'm nowhere near behind the line, and then the light changes, and then they sit there. And it's like, really? All you did this whole entire light was roll. Now you can finally go, and now I gotta wait for you. Really? Ugh, it's so stupid. Or that's the other thing I hate too, when people don't pay attention when they're driving. Like, again, you're sitting at a light, and it changes, and the moron just sits there. And it's like, seriously? You're in a car driving. Pay the F attention. At this moment, nothing is more important. What are you doing? Or when somebody, like, is dumb and they slow down or stop at a light even though there's a green arrow, and, like, we're taking the way that the arrow is, and it's like, what are we stopped for? We got an arrow. Now you're making us miss the light because you're retarded. Oh, I hate that too. Like, way to pay attention. I don't care what these other cars are doing. We have the green arrow. If you got into an accident, it's 100% their fault because we got the dang arrow. Which means they would have a red light anyway. So in any case, it's their fault. They blew a light and we had the arrow. Double their fault. Or what else is pretty annoying? Places where there's, like, 2 lanes. Like, near me, there's a Target. So the Target has you can come off the highway and go straight to get into Target's parking lot. Or you can take a left and get on a main road. I think it's like, I don't know, Route 6 or something. Now, that road has 2 lanes. And one lane is like if you want to end up going left down the road, or the other one is if you want to go straight or right. But it also works for the highway/Target traffic. You know, the Target people can take the lane closer to them, and the highway people can take the lane closer to them. But sometimes you get these morons that are too scared to know how to drive, and they just sit there and wait for there to be no traffic before they choose a lane. And it's like, don't sit here like a retard and make me have to catch this light now because you couldn't go. There's 2 lanes. You pick yours, they pick theirs. If they want to be a dickhead, technically anyways, the people from Target should have the right of way. They're taking a right. The people off the highway are going left. So, you know, if you're a Target person, get going. If somebody coming off the highway wants your right lane and they crash into you, they're at fault. They're the ones taking a left. Ugh. So annoying. No, we sit there. Looks like this car's over there. I'm just gonna sit here and relax. Hey, look, the light's red. Cool. Ugh. Stupid. What else is annoying about drivers? Ugh. Morons that want to tailgate, too. That's always cool. Like, what do you seriously think tailgating's gonna do? One, it sure isn't gonna get you where you're trying to go any faster because I'm in front of you. So, 2, it's not going to make me speed up any. If anything, I'm slowing way down. Granted, it's going to be over time. I'm not trying to have you rear end me because then I got to deal with my car being busted. And yeah, it would be your fault, but still. But gradually, I just let off the gas pedal. And then I slowly slow down. If I'm going 45 and someone's tailing me, let off the gas pedal. And before you know it, I'm going 30, all natural. Just casual slowdown by letting off the gas pedal. Like, what do you think tailing somebody's gonna do? If they're going too slow for you, just pass them. It's not that hard to do. You don't have to ride right on their bumper so close that I can't even see your plate in my rearview mirror. Like, and that's just so retarded on that person's part. Because how do you think that's going to hold any benefit? Again, like I said, it's not going to get you to the destination any faster. It's not going to make me speed up. I'm going to do the exact opposite and slow down because you're an annoying dickhead. And if something were to happen, like say for some reason I did have to lock him up, not even me being a dickhead, say something actually happened. Like some kid ran out in the road or some person wasn't paying attention and thought, I can cross the street and I have to lock them up for them. Well, when you're riding right on me like that, chances are you're going to end up in my trunk. For what? Because you're an idiot and can't keep a little gap or just pass me? Oh, it's so dumb. Or the morons on the highway. That's a fun one too. You know, when somebody's getting on the highway and you move over for them so that they can get on. And then all of a sudden it becomes time to race. Granted, they're not technically racing. You know, it's not like some young dickhead, 18 years old, like, hey, want to race? But, like, it's just annoying. You move over for them. And then all of a sudden now they're cruising by you in the travel lane. And you're like, hey, dickwad, why don't you get behind me while I'm in the passing lane so I can scoot back to the driving lane and then you can pass me the right way? Obviously, I'm not in the passing lane going slow. I moved over for you. Stupid. Don't make me get stuck over here because you'd want to drive like a dick. Get behind me and I will happily get back to the driving side and then you can pass me like a normal person, not like a dickhole. Ugh. I hate that. Or I hate when you do try to pass somebody and then all of a sudden, again, it's time to race. Like, for example, me. I always use cruise control on the highway. I've been using cruise control ever since I've had my Cadillac because that car had way more power and was way too smooth for that power that I would end up flying all the time. There'd be times where I'm on the highway passing everyone and I'm thinking, why is everybody going so slow? And then I look down and I'm going 95 and I can't tell. There's no engine growl. There's no vibrating or anything. It's just super smooth, super quiet. And so it was dangerous. I was like, geez, I'm casually flying and I don't even realize it. So I started using cruise control. 67 was what I always did. It just felt like a nice, safe enough number. I don't know. And so even till today, I still use cruise control because it's just easier. I don't have to worry about what my foot's doing. Cruise lock, boom, now it's handled. So anyhow, if I'm creeping up on somebody, I have a set speed. I am going 67, which means if I'm creeping up on you, you're clearly going slower than that. You're going maybe 65, maybe plain old 60. Who knows? But it's something slower than what I'm doing, and I'm on cruise lock. So when I get in the passing lane, I should be able to easily pass you since I'm going faster than you. But nope, all of a sudden, I'm like toe-to-toe with these people. Can't get by them, toe-to-toe. And then maybe they start breaking away even. And it's like, seriously right now? If you wanted to drive this fast, do it the whole time. Don't all of a sudden start speeding up just because somebody's passing you. That's so stupid. Let them pass you. You were going slow happily the whole time. Now somebody's next to you. Oh, I should be going faster, huh? No, you shouldn't be, dickhead. Let me pass you, and then if you realize you're going too slow, start speeding up from there. Don't trap me in the passing lane and make me look like an idiot because now I'm in the passing lane and for some reason you're passing me when I was just about able to pass you. So annoying. Like, why doesn't anybody know how to drive? You know, I just feel like getting retested for your license would be probably inconvenient and annoying as you get older and stuff. Like, you just go and renew your license, you don't have to retest. But I think maybe they should do a retest so that way then all these dickheads can get busted for their stuff and, I don't know, have to go to some training class or something. I mean, you can't really just strip people's licenses because then you need it for your car and stuff. But, I don't know, something. Because you got all these morons that don't know how to drive and they just get to get away with it because there's no checks or anything. You just got to deal with it while you're out on the road with all these retards. And then you wonder why there's road rage and stuff. I don't know. It's so annoying. What else is there for problems? I'm trying to think. Well, there's also that, too. I'm just thinking about it because I'm kind of in a situation right now where there's like a lane that ends, But it's not like on the highway or anything. Like, you know how the slow vehicle lane will end? Those slow vehicle lanes also, what's the point of them? Like, they put slow vehicle lanes in random areas, and they're always super short. They're like half a mile tops. Like, what's the point of the slow vehicle lane? Like, there's one near where I live, and I don't understand what the point of it is. It's like, it's a little bit of a hill. It's not even that big of a hill. And they have a slow vehicle lane that shows up, and then there's an exit, and then shortly after the exit, slow vehicle lane ends. And it's like, okay. And it's on the other side of the highway too. So like, it's southbound the way that I was just talking. So when you're northbound, there's one over there too. But that one, I was going to say it's flat. It's not flat, but it definitely feels like a less of an incline than the southbound way. How that makes sense, I don't know. But it feels like it's less of an incline. And same situation. It like shows up before an exit, and then it ends like shortly after the on-ramp. And it's like, it's about, what, 3/8 of a mile total? Like, what's the point? Oh, I'm going slow, let me take this lane. Oh, looks like my lane's already done. Like, I don't understand what the point of that is. Like, it should just be the whole highway. That would make sense. You have the slow lane for people that go like 55. You have the normal lane for the people going 65. And then you have the passing lane for the people going 105. Anyway, so what I was trying to say was, like, if you're on a back road, well, not really a back road, but like for me, Route 44, right near Walmart, there's like a little weird lane situation like this where it's 2 lanes, but then it kind of ends. And sometimes you get somebody that's in the lane that's going to end, and they think that they should start racing you and basically cut you off to get into the lane. So technically that means I'm in the actual lane. Your lane is ending. You need to merge with me. So why are you racing to cut me off? Like, you need to slow down and get behind me. Not try to get in front of me. Not my fault you're stupid and chose the wrong lane, you idiot. Ugh, it's annoying too. Like, it happened the other day to me. Like, it got toe to toe. I don't slow down because I'm like, you know what? If there's an accident, it's your fault. I'm not going to slow down because you want to drive like an idiot and not know how to pay attention to the road and pay attention to what you're supposed to be doing. Even though I say I don't slow down, I mean, I'm probably only going like 30 as it is in that area. But still, that's not the point. The point is that these people are stupid. I just don't get it. You get behind the steering wheel and all of a sudden you're the dumbest person in the world. What else is pretty dumb? There's a lot of things that people do when they're driving that's just retarded. Or like this, when you go to a place and they park and they take up, 4 lanes for themselves. And it's like, what did you need 4 lanes for? They park like right in the middle of 4 lanes. And it's like, what did you need to take up 4 spots for, you dickhead? If you think your vehicle is that prized, just park far away. People are lazy. They're not going to want to walk. Park far away. No one's going to park near you. You don't have to take up a whole parking lot by yourself. Stupid. Like, I hate when people with trailers do that, too. They'll park and take 2-3 spots. And it's like, there is like a back area, like where nobody parks their cars because it's not designed for that. You could just pull up your trailer right there, stupid. You didn't have to take up 15 lanes because it was convenient for you. That's probably less annoying. That's just a dickhead move, but that doesn't really bother me because most times you see that it's like at Walmart where there's like 25 million spots anyways. It's just kind of rude and stupid when you see it. But still. Anyway. That was a huge tangent just because of some moron that was beeping at the roadwork. So, back to what I was saying about the seasons. So anyways, when it changed out of summer and it went to fall, though, I was thinking it is nice to not have the bugs anymore, and it's also nice to not have it be so hot and humid. Humidity sucks. 70 degrees dry, pretty decent. 70 degrees humid, brutal. It's crazy how much of a difference it makes for the same general temp. But yeah, so anyways, like I was saying, it was nice though when it switched and I was able to sleep, throw a sheet on even. Yeah, I was still wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but I throw a sheet on and I'm comfortable. I'm not laying there with a AC on or a fan and my window open and stuff, sweating profusely with no blankets and basically naked. Yeah, so there's that. What else did I say in that one? I'm trying to think. There's a couple things that I was thinking might not actually be as accurate as I was saying at that time. I still do prefer spring over summer. Over fall, because fall's kind of depressing. It's going from warm to cold, where spring is going from cold to warm. Especially after you had all that snow and stuff. Then it's like, it melts and you're like, oh, nice, I can see the ground. Granted, it's all dead grass and stuff, but that's not the point. The point is you can see the ground. No more snow. But, definitely saying that I hate winter still stands, too. I'm not a fan of winter. I don't like the cold. I was thinking about this recently now. Now that it's starting to get cold, I'm wearing more layers, and it's so annoying. Trying to get undressed takes forever. I got to take off socks, take off, like, my sweater or something, take off my shirt, take off my undershirt that I have on, pants, belt, then put on my pajamas. I'm like, oh, my word, in summer this is so much easier. I just take off my shirt and my pants and belt and socks if I have work, and boom, I'm done. Literally, I'm done. That's my pajamas right there. Underwear and a wife beater. That's my pajamas. I'm done. Winter, it takes 3.5 hours to be done. Oh, also, I forgot jacket. I got my jacket to put away, my hat. It's annoying. And then I was thinking, like, that's for work. Then if it's like a day off, that's a pain in the butt too. And in winter, it's like I take off my pajamas that I have, and then I put on. A lot of times, like, if it's a weekend, I just wear sweatpants. I don't do anything really, so what do I got to dress up for? So I throw on sweatpants, but then I got to throw on a shirt. Throw on maybe like a hoodie or something. Then jacket, hat, socks, shoes. All this nonsense. We're in summer. I get up. I have my wife beater on and underwear because I don't wear pajamas. So, boom. Throw on some basketball shorts and maybe throw on... Dang it, I'm at my place I'm supposed to be at, and there's a vehicle in my way. What am I supposed to do? This is annoying. But yeah, so I just throw on some basketball shorts and maybe a shirt or nothing. If my wife beater is big enough, I'll just wear that as my shirt, and boom, done. I don't even need socks or anything, just sandals. Throw on my slides, call it a day. So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, whoops. Jackets. That's another thing that's kind of annoying about when it's cold out. Like, in summer when I go to get my daughter, I don't gotta think about a jacket. But in winter, that's something I gotta think about. Remembering to grab her jacket before I leave. Or, when she takes her shower at night, like on Tuesdays or Sunday nights, before I bring her back to her mom's, I gotta be mindful that she has a hat on because, it's cold outside. She can't go outside with wet hair. So that's something else to keep in mind. Yeah, winter just sucks. It is funny though when you like meet somebody who's never really experienced it. Like when I was working at McDonald's during my college days, there's a guy that moved up here from Florida, and he lived in Florida his whole entire life. So he wasn't familiar with snow, frost, any of that. He wasn't even really familiar with temperatures that require a jacket. And then one day, we had... What did we have the night before? Maybe it snowed a little or something. And, like, he didn't even really know what to do to handle, like, the frost on his windshield. Which was just funny, because, like, for us... around here all the time, we know what to do. It's second nature. You deal with it all the time, every winter. But for him, it was like, what the heck am I supposed to do to take care of this? It was just funny listening to his stories. And then people were trying to joke with him and tell him, oh, you're supposed to put hot water all over it. Which, obviously, that would be bad. It could crack his windshield. But he was smart enough to know that they were messing with him. He's like, you can't do that. So it didn't work. But they were trying to set him up so that maybe he'd be stupid the following morning and do that. But yeah, or like somebody I work with was talking about how they went to Texas for 10 years, and there was like one winter down in Texas where it actually like snowed or something. And nobody down there has scrapers or winter jackets or anything. So like, it was mayhem for those people. She was prepared because she came from up here. And she brought all her stuff, so she was prepared. But all the Texans were like lost and not sure what to do. And I don't know. It's just kind of funny to think about. Like, it's normal to us, but it's weird for them. It's kind of like in reversal. Like, say we went to Africa or something, it would just feel so hot, and we wouldn't know what to do. But people that live in Africa, it's like, yeah, this is every day, whatever. Speaking of Africa, too, it's kind of funny to think that Egypt's in Africa. It's just, I don't know. Like, Africa's got a lot going on in it. You get countries like Egypt that have, like, the pyramids and all this, and, like, had their mystique back in the day, all powerful and stuff. Then you got other places that are kind of just, like, people are still, like, uncivilized almost. They're living in tribes and stuff, and it's weird. And then you got South Africa. That's, like, a normal country, almost like the United States. It's just kind of weird. Because at the end of the day, it's all the same continent. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Speaking of weird, too, because maybe some of these countries fail because they don't really have anything to export or whatever, so their GDP sucks. But I heard Barbados declared itself its own country. It's not under British rule anymore. And I was just thinking, I wonder how they're going to do. I don't really know what Barbados exports. I mean, they're probably for tourism. But I'm like, having the umbrella of Britain probably helped. Like, I don't really know what I don't know how they're gonna do on their own. Like, I'm like, are they gonna end up being a failed-ish country? Are they gonna do okay? I don't know. You know, I got this split in my lip because I keep forgetting to put chapstick on. And of course, everything's being a dickhole. Right now, I'm trying to eat like a Boston cream honey bun type thing. And first, when I went to go take the first bite, my mouth was super dry. And I forgot. And so, like, you know, it almost split right where the split is. And it hurt. And now, as I'm trying to eat this stupid thing, I'm eating it with the plastic on it still. Because, you know, honey buns are kind of messy. And, like, the stupid plastic's got a fold, and it keeps stabbing me in the lip. And it's annoying. Well, not just in the lip, stabbing me right where the split is. I'm like, out of my whole mouth for this stupid thing to hit me, it's got to keep hitting that spot, right? If that wasn't there, this wrapper would never hit my mouth. But just because I got a cut right there, it's like, oh, hey, look, watch what I can do. Ugh. Anyway. That's probably enough of an update on the seasons. What was my other main topic? I ended up going on a tangent of crappy drivers. That wasn't even part of one of my topics. My topics were a seasons update, and what the heck was the other one that I thought of? You know, I did have another topic, but I don't know why I can't remember it. It was supposed to be the seasons and something else. And that's why I thought this was going to be short, but then I ended up going on that tangent about the drivers being crappy, and I can't remember what the heck my other topic was. I don't know, I can't expand on the crappy drivers one. So something that's been happening recently, and I don't understand at all, is people have been eyeing me in both directions, either behind me or in front of me when they're coming. And sometimes, you know, people give like a courtesy high when they're letting you know that there's a cop up ahead, which I think's that's stupid. Like, if you're gonna drive like a dickhole, man up or woman up and get your ticket. Don't give people heads ups for driving like dickheads. They want to drive like a dickhead, they can deal with the repercussions. Oh, I hate it. Just like all these faggots on the highway when there's a cop sitting on the side of the road and they all lock it up. And like, I think I said how I always use cruise control. I go to about 67. I don't know why I choose 67. That's just what I chose. But I cruise lock 67. Some of these dickheads will fly by me, probably going 80, 90 even. And then all of a sudden now I'm passing them because there's a cop. And it's like, really? Man up. You wanted to drive 90 miles an hour. Take that ticket then. Don't be a faggot and stop now because there's a cop. Ugh. So anyways, you know, there's those kind of high beams that you could get from people, but those are usually quick. It's just a little like, hey, in case you're driving like a dickhead, I'm on your team. I'm not on anybody's team that's doing that. You can get the ticket. Good, there's a cop. Hopefully you get busted, idiot. But anyways, I don't know what's up with these people. So the ones from behind me, it's been happening, not all the time, but enough, and I don't understand why. Like, it's not because I'm going too slow, because, I mean, it just happened now. I'm coming back from dropping my daughter off, and it just happened now. I had some dickhead behind me that kept putting them on, and I wasn't sure at first, because sometimes it looks like somebody's highs went on, but, like, they hit a bump or something in the road, and so the car kind of bounces a little and makes the lights go up, so it looks like highs. No, this dickhead I know was highing me, because then when there was a car on the other side, he put the highs down for the car. But then as soon as that car was going to put them back on me, and I'm like, what? Who is this dickhead? Like, are you serious right now? And I don't understand what his problem was. There was no reason for him to have any kind of problem with me. First off, like, I got off the highway, and then I get to a light, and I'm at the light by myself, and then this guy creeps up behind me afterwards. I don't even think he came off the highway. I'm pretty sure he was just on the road. But I didn't cut him off, because like I said, I was on the road by myself. He wasn't even in sight. So, it's not like I caught him off or something, or he was behind me for a while and I was going slow or anything dumb like that. No, we're two complete strangers that just happen to end up going the same way. And then as soon as we turn, for some reason he starts eyeing me, and I don't know what it's for. It's not because I'm going too slow, because in all fairness, I'm pretty sure the speed limit on that road is about 40, and I do like 50 on that road because it just feels more natural. 40 feels too slow. So I'm like, technically you can't say I'm going too slow because I'm technically going, 25% faster than I should be. So it's not that. And then I thought, well, maybe these people are always hiding me because, like, maybe my back lights are on and I don't realize. Maybe I have no lights in the back. So they hide me like, hey, buddy, are your lights on? So after I dropped my daughter off, I turned my car on. I hopped out and looked. Nope, lights are working. Both sides, everything's on. So I'm like, okay, it's not that. Now I always use auto lights. I've been using auto ever since I've had that option, my Cadillac. So it's been like since 2013, I've been using automatic lights. So I thought, okay, maybe for some reason the auto setting is the problem. So I turned the lights on for real, just to double check. Everything was the same. So it's not like there was a difference going on, like, oh, auto wasn't doing this for me. Nope. Everything's the same. So I'm like, well, I got my lights on. And then my front lights, those are on, obviously. I mean, they suck. The lights on my car are terrible, but they're still on. I can see the reflection on the road. It doesn't illuminate much, but it's enough for me to know that they're on. So it's not that. So I'm like, what is this dickhole eyeing me for? What's even more annoying is the road is like a wide open road, and at night there's not too many cars on it. Just pass me. Like, you'll see if somebody's coming. Like I said, it's a wide open road. It's not windy, it's not twisty. It's basically straight with a few hills. You'll see if cars are coming, especially at night, though. I mean, especially at night. So, like, I don't understand what the problem is. If you think I'm going too slow, what's eyeing me going to do? Just pass me then, you dickhead. But yeah, I don't know what's up with these people. And then the ones in front of me. I don't know what's going on with the ones in front of me either. Like, my lights are on, and my lights suck. It's not like you can mistake it as, oh, this dickhead's eyeing me. My lights are trash. They illuminate literally like 10 feet in front of me. They suck. Like, people used to eye me in my Cadillac when I had my Cadillac, but I don't blame them. Those lights were good. They would illuminate. These lights, half the time I'm not even sure if my lights are on. That's how bad they are. I can't really tell. They're so crappy. So I'm like, there's no way that somebody's getting blinded by my lights, and that's why they're eyeing me. But anyway, speaking of that too, in my Cadillac, when people would eye me, sometimes I understood and I didn't eye them back. Because I was like, nah, you're being a dick, but I think you think I'm being a dick, even though my lights are just awesome. But sometimes I would eye them as a joke, like, oh, you thought those were highs? Here's the actual highs, which were like 10 times worse. Well, worse meaning like for them than my lows were. That car had some extreme lights. Those were some really good lights. That's one of the features I miss too. Not only do I miss how my lights were so good compared to the lights I have now, but there's also this cool little light on the side of the car that when you turned, it would turn on. So it would kind of like illuminate your turn. And I know that sounds like a goofy, worthless feature, but when you have it and you can actually utilize it and it like lights up the road for you that you're trying to turn onto or whatever, it's actually super awesome and handy. Because your headlights are in front of you. So as you're turning, you see what's in front of you, but you don't really see the turn. You don't see what's happening, how close you are to a curb or anything. And like for roads or whatever, that's fine. But if you're trying to turn into a tight driveway, like there's a plaza near where I live. It's got a Chinese restaurant, Walgreens, Aubuchon's, and a staffing agency. But the parking lot is weird, and there's a lot of very sharp turns there just to get in. And that's like an area that light would be handy. Or like when I pull into my daughter's mother's driveway, there's no defining features of the driveway. They don't have any bushes along the driveway or trees or anything. It's just the driveway and the road and their grass, and it all kind of blends together. And when it's dark out, especially if it's like a night that the moon's not out or anything and it's just dark out, I can't see where their driveway is, and half the time I end up guessing, and sometimes I end up a little bit on their grass. Sometimes I'm overshooting it and I'm almost going up the hill because one side's a hill, one side's flat. I can't see. Between my lights being crap and the way that their driveway just blends in with the yard, I can't see where the driveway actually is. But when I had my Cadillac, it was awesome. It would light it right up. I'd start to turn the wheel and that light would kick on. Boom, I could see the driveway. So, like I said, I know it sounds like a goofy feature, like kind of pointless, like what's the point of a turning light? But when you actually have it, it's awesome. It's kind of like people who've never used a computer with dual monitors before. You know, at first you think, what do I need two screens for? That's stupid. All I need is the one. But then once you have two screens, you never want to go back to one screen. Then you realize how handy two screens are. You know, like me at my job. One screen I keep my email on at all times, and then what I'll also do is sometimes I'll like split screen like reference drawings on that side, and then on the other side I got my work going. I have YouTube up just to listen to stuff, and I'll have like my working directory up all on that side. So I got three things going on the right screen, and technically three things going on the left screen, but most times email's kind of just hidden in the background, but it's still open, it's on that screen. But yeah, I think, man, I could never do this with one screen. There's just not enough. It's not practical. And then there's a guy that sits in the same area as me, and he has one screen, and I see how much of a pain in the dick it is. Like, he's trying to find something, and it's taking him forever to scroll through all his open tabs, and I'm thinking, yeah, see, if you had two screens, this would be so much easier. But yeah, same thing. So if you've never experienced the side light, you can't make fun of it until you have. It's actually obnoxiously handy and way cooler than you'd think it would be. So anyways, how did I go on that tangent? I'm checking my lights. Oh yeah, my lights suck. That's kind of where it all came from. My lights suck. So I don't know why idiots high me from the front. Again, I don't know. Maybe they're high-ing me because they think my lights are off. My lights are so bad. Maybe they think they're just like day driving lights or something. I don't know. I mean, for a brief period, I had one bulb out. But obviously I was aware of that, and I got it fixed now. So, but I don't see why you would hire somebody because they have a bulb out. You still see the other light. So I just don't understand what these dickheads' problem is, though. It's annoying and severely unnecessary. What's even more annoying is, like, not to toot my own horn, as they say, or anything like that, or oversell myself, or whatever the heck the phrase is I'm looking for, but I feel like I'm pretty much a pretty super good driver. I say this only because I'm super alert and aware of my surroundings. Like, when I'm driving, especially at night, I'm always paying attention to the sides of the road, making sure nothing's gonna run out. Whether it's a deer or a raccoon or anything, I'm paying attention. During the day, if I'm driving through like an area that looks like a neighborhood, you know what I mean? I pay attention. Are there kids playing? Is there a dog that's gonna run out? I'm always super on alert. I also, like I said, the highway, I cruise at 67. So for the most part, I always drive the speed limits. And I've gotten so accustomed to driving the speed limits that I kind of just know what the speed limits are on the roads that I'm usually on. So like if there is a cop, like I was talking about earlier, I can quickly double check myself. Oh crap, there's a cop. Speed limit on this road's 40. What am I doing? Oh good, 40. It's all natural. My body just knows. But yeah, and like what else? Oh yeah, I also pay attention to the drivers around me. If there's somebody in front of me, I pay extreme attention to them because, you know, during my days working at McDonald's when I was in college, you know, you hear a lot of stories about, you know, you hear a lot of dickhead stories from the other employees who say they do like brake checks and stuff on people and, you know, try to set them up for like insurance fraud and all this nonsense. So that's something I'd be aware of. I make sure to maintain my distance. I also pay attention to what they're up to, just in case they want to pull a fast one like that. I can be ready to lock my brakes up and avoid the accident that they're trying to cause. In addition, I pay attention beyond them, just in case, again, if there's a deer or something and they're not paying attention, they might still hit the deer. I can't control them, but at least I can be ready to lock my brakes up so I don't rear end them after they hit a deer or something, you know what I mean? So I do that. I pay attention to the cars behind me, especially in winter. You can't trust anybody in winter. They drive like morons. They get their four-wheel drive on and think they're invincible. So I always especially make sure I pay attention to the people behind me. Just like then, if someone looks like they're going a little too fast or possibly sliding, I can take off. I always, when I stop behind a car too, like if it's winter and there's a car in front of me at a light or something, I stop with enough of a gap so that way then if I do need to move out of the way of somebody that's possibly gonna rear end me, I have enough space to be able to do that, whether it's get out of there and just get into the other lane or pull up, 25 feet to give that person behind me extra stopping room or whatever the case is. I'm always looking, I'm always thinking, I'm always pre-planning, and yeah. So, and I even feel like when I'm like a passenger, I'm paying attention. I have, my friend that I'm always with, she's ridiculous at driving, doesn't pay attention to anything ever, stresses me out. I don't know if I'm just hyper alert or if she's terrible or what the situation is, but there's that too. Like, well, a light will change and we're still sitting there and I'm like, the light changed, why are we still here? Or we're at an intersection, like a four-way, and there's another car going, but she's going too, and I'm like, we're both going right now, so if you want to avoid an accident, you should probably stop because they're not going to. Ugh. But yeah, so my point is I'm always paying attention, and I'm always super alert, and so it's just annoying when people are like dickholes too, because it's like, why are you criticizing me? It's like somebody that invents something smart and then people critique it though and call it, this is a piece of crap or something. It's like, who are you to critique? What have you made? Like, let's say like a real life, fully functioning Iron Man suit, the Mark, what is it, the 43? Is it Mark 43, the one that he designed to fly to him from Iron Man 3, the one that can just show up and attach to his body? I mean, yeah, he's got those implants to make that happen, but say they made that in real life for like military purposes or something. They made a real suit that could fly to you like that. It could help you fly. It had some weapons on it, and obviously it would be a sick suit. But then, you got people that would say, there's people that make fun of it. Oh, this is a piece of crap, blah, 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 it breaks too easily or something. And it's like, who are you to critique? What have you done with your life? What is your job? Do you even have a job that requires your brain in the slightest bit? Or are you just like, a button pusher? Like, who are you to critique something like this that's well beyond your realm of scientific understanding? You know what I mean? So, like, similar to that, I feel like when people are dickheads to me, it's like, who are you to critique me? Obviously, you're a crap trash driver that you want to go flying so recklessly on a road that technically the speed limit's only 40, but apparently 50 is too slow for you, so you think you should be going highway speeds on this road. Additionally, you're highing me for no reason because you clearly don't have a brain. Ugh. The other thing, though, that I find funny is when people are acting like dickheads like this, riding close to me, tailgating me, even though I'm going the speed limit, or even maybe a little faster, but they're tailgating, acting like a total dickhole, and then there's a cop on the side of the road. And it's like, yeah, they don't get pulled over for driving like a dickhead. But I always find it funny because I'm like, you see that cop? Yeah, if you had free reign to just drive as you want to, you would have gotten pulled over, faggot. And you would have had a ticket. But you're welcome because you were behind me, a responsible driver. So we both get to keep going scot-free because I don't drive like an idiot. So yeah, you're welcome for me going a proper speed that you thought was necessary to tailgate me for. I just saved you a $100 ticket or whatever it would be. Ugh. That's one thing I always think, too, that would be nice. If I could somehow be, like, deputized through, like, my local troop. It's Troop D, we call them. I always think that could be cool. Because, like, there's so much nonsense that I see and like, quasi-injustice. And it would be awesome, I think, if I could just somehow be deputized. Have, like, one of those old-fashioned lights that you just pull out and you put on your roof. And just have some sort of authority that I can... maybe like a ticket book, and I can write the person a ticket. And maybe they don't care about me writing them a ticket because I look like I'm just a guy. But at the end of the day, I can submit the other side to the police station or a courthouse or whatever, and then they enforce it. So this moron doesn't pay the ticket that I write because I wrote it. Well, then the court will enforce it, and they have to pay it or something. Like, there's just so much I see that's just so annoying. And I'm like, I wish I could do something about this because there's no cop around. And even if there was, would the cop do anything? But I could. This dickhead that wanted to ride me for no reason this whole time, it'd be awesome to let him pass me and then get behind him and pull him over and be like, here's your ticket for driving like a dickhead. Or like these morons you see on the highway just flying by you, probably going 90, 95, if not faster. It'd be cool to just fly up to them, catch up to them, pull them over, give them a giant ticket. There you go. Congratulations. You're lucky I'm only deputized, not a real cop, because maybe I could... Actually, I don't know. I was going to say maybe I can arrest you, but I don't really know how those work. With the speeding infringements. How does that work? I mean, if you're not drunk, what happens? If you're not drunk and you're just driving crazy fast for no reason, what happens? Do you just get a ticket and as a warning for the first time, or do they impound your car temporarily and you gotta go to some training? I don't know. I don't actually know. I've never really looked into that. But still, it would just be cool. And then I can handle these stupid dickheads I always see. And it'd be like, ooh, yeah, wrong one, motherfucker. It's just unnecessary. Like, even me, sometimes I might end up slightly riding on somebody, but it's not because I'm trying to. It's because maybe the speed limit's 40 and they're going 25. And, like, they're going so slow that just coasting is too fast. And I'm catching up to them. And I'm like, seriously, I'm just coasting. How am I catching up to you? But I'm not trying to ride them. And even if I was riding them, I mean, technically they're going 25 and a 40. Like, there's a reason for that to be happening. It's not like they're going 40 and a 40 or 50 and a 40 like I do, and I'm driving like a dickhead on them. They're going way too slow, and I'm not even trying to ride them. My car is going too fast naturally. But yeah. I stopped talking there because there was a car behind me, and that high beam nonsense happened just now. But I just remembered where that area is, there's like a little hill. So I'm like, oh wait, maybe not. It's just them going up the hill, and it just felt like it was a high, but it wasn't a high. Ugh, stupid coughing. But yeah, I don't know why people are stupid. It's so annoying. It's just like that too. Speaking about why are people stupid. Oh, there's a lot of information that I know that to me feels basic, but I feel like a lot of people that I know don't know this information, and it's weird. It's like, I don't know if it's not as basic as I think it is, or if I just pay attention to stuff too deeply that doesn't matter. Like, for example, the planets. I know the planets in order. Like, that doesn't feel like a skill to me. It just feels like a basic thing to know. But I don't know. I've asked a few people, and they don't know. And I'm like, how do you not know? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. If you want to count Pluto still. I do, because when I was learning the planets, Pluto's counted as a planet. And if you really want to get technical, then we can say the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter exists. But I'm like, how is that not basic knowledge? I thought that was basic. Or, like, easy math. You know, like, I mean easy, like 7 times 7. Like, for example, my daughter's mother doesn't know what that is. She uses her calculator. I'm like, how do you not know? 7 times 7, 49. How do you not know that? Like, that's just, to me, that's just as easy as 1 plus 1. Like, it's math that you don't even have to think about. It's just there. You just know it. 7 times 7, 49. 8 and 8, 64. Like, it's just there. 9 and 9, 81. I'm like, how is this not basic? I don't understand. Or what else do I know that's that seems basic that people don't know. And I'm like, I don't get it either. I don't know if it's just I pay attention to stuff that doesn't matter, or just a lot of people don't pay attention to anything, and so they look stupid. I don't know what the situation is. I'm confused. Because it's like, this is the stuff that my daughter's learning in school right now. And like, her mom can't help her with it because she don't know. And I'm like, how do you not know? Like, her mom helps her with her math homework and she has to use her calculator. I don't know what 12 times 8 is. What? I know that's not an easy one. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's 96, but like, it's not that hard to figure out. 12, 24, 36, 48. 48 doubled, 96. Yeah. Like, that wasn't that hard to do. Why do you need a calculator? I don't understand. Like, I get it how I know some useless stuff. I know, like, 93 million miles away is how far the sun is. Okay, that's useless. I just know it just because I think it's cool. Or 285,000 miles away is the moon. Okay, useless, but it's still cool. Or, you know, what other nonsense do I know that doesn't matter? I don't know, ZYXWVUTSRQPONMLK the alphabet backwards. That's probably severely useless, but that's something I know. Or saying the months backwards. I don't know, that seems to be a skill when it shouldn't be. December, November, October, September, August, July, June, May, April, March, February, January. I don't know. Is that a skill? Seems basic enough, but maybe it's not. Or what else? I don't know. Like, I do value being smart, but some of this stuff I don't feel like is a byproduct of being smart. It's just basic. Like, what else can I think of? Like my mom not knowing how to hook up a Blu-ray player. I don't know. I mean, my mom is from a different generation, so maybe it's hard to her. I don't know. To me, it's basic. You plug an HDMI cord into the Blu-ray player and then plug the other side into your TV. Like, that's it. Other than plugging in the thing into the wall so it can have power. But otherwise, that's super basic. How is that a challenge? But like, she wants me to come over and hook one up for her, and I'm like, it's not hard to do. HDMI, plug it in, done. Why do you need me? But then I'm like, I don't know. You know, she's from a different generation. HDMI is relatively new, so to speak. You know, in comparison to her life. You know, this came out in, like, what, the last 10 years? So in comparison to her life, that's in 1/6 of it. It's not the grand scheme. But for me, it's been 1/3 of my life. So HDMI cables have been around for twice as long of my life as hers. You know what I mean? Like, comparison-wise, if you're saying they've been around for 10 years. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's why it's basic to me. Because I've grown up with it. Where her, it's just kind of come out and she, I don't know. Or what else seems basic to me? I don't know. One thing though I do like, I mean, again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like, I know I am pretty smart, book smart at least. My mom always makes fun of me and says, yeah, you're book smart, but you have no common sense. But I always defend it by saying, yeah, well, having no common sense is good, because I bet you everybody that ever invented anything revolutionary in the world didn't have common sense. Common sense is what everybody thinks, so it keeps the world just stagnant. It's those people that have uncommon sense that make the awesome changes. You know? You think Isaac Newton had common sense when he was sitting around inventing his laws of gravity and all that, and working on calculus and stuff? No, clearly he didn't. Because if he did, he wouldn't have been coming up with that. Or Johannes Kepler, or Galileo, or who's any of the other guys? You know, they obviously didn't have common sense because they were thinking about other things that everyone else commonly wasn't thinking of. You know, they were looking up at the stars like, I wonder what I could figure out about our planet based on what's going on up there. You know, they weren't thinking, oh, I gotta go plow the field later and plant my blah, blah, blah so it grows by this month so that I'm ready for winter, like everyone else was thinking. You know what I mean? Anyhow, back to what I was saying. So I am pretty book smart. And the thing I think is pretty cool, though, is this is going to work to my advantage strongly as my daughter gets older. Because, like, I'll, for the most part, be able to help her with her homework all throughout her school career because I'll know majority of what she's learning. Like, right now, her mom's struggling. My daughter's in 4th grade, and her mom's basically struggling to help her with her homework. Like I said, she doesn't even know the planets in order. She knows like 2 of the planets. And I'm like, how is that all you know? Meaning my daughter's mother, not my daughter. And, like, she doesn't know basic-ish math. Like I said, 7 times 7, she needs a calculator for, and I'm like, So anyhow, my point is, though, is for me, this stuff's easy. So I can easily help my daughter with my homework or check her homework if she wants me to. And I'm like, this is going to work out for my advantage for a while. I'm thinking the only time I may struggle a little bit is her later high school years. Freshman, sophomore, I'll probably be fine. It's just junior, senior. And the only reason junior, senior might trip me up is depending on what classes she chooses. Because, in high school, you can pick your own classes. So if she, say, picks anatomy and physiology, I didn't take that course. I wanted to, but it just didn't happen. So say she takes anatomy. Well, I don't know. I never had that class. I don't know any of that stuff, so I can't help her. Or say she picks, I don't know, what's something that I did take, but I haven't done anything with it for a while. Say like physics. I did have physics in college and in high school, but it's been a long time. It's been about 15 years since I used it in high school, and it's been about 13 years since I used it in college. Maybe less than that. 11 years, I think, since I used it in college. Point is, though, is I've never had to use it in the real world. So, yeah, I did it in high school and in college. I did very well. I think I got like an average mid-B in high school, but then I think in college I did a lot better. Because then I ended up taking a lot of, so when I say college, it was actually my second college. My first college I took a lot of math at, because I just like math. I think it's fun, so that's why I just took math courses, just to have like a fun class to look forward to. So when I took it in my second college, I had all that math background now, so I think that really helped me with physics. So I'm pretty sure I scored better in college than I did in high school. I don't think anything drastic. Like, say I had an 85 in high school, maybe I had like a 90 in college. But still. But point is, though, is it's been a while. And by the time my daughter gets to gets to high school, it's going to be, 5, 6, 7... say like 8 more years. So if it's been 13 years or 11 years since I've used it, it's going to be pushing 20 years since I've used physics. So yeah, I might be a little rusty because my job doesn't require me to use physics or chemistry. That's one too. I've taken both in my first college and high school, and I actually did super well in it in high school. I think I had one of the top grades in my class, and in college, frustratingly, I didn't do as well, which made me discouraged because I was like, why was this a breeze for me in high school when now I'm slightly struggling? Again, not majorly struggling. I think I got like a mid-B in college, but still, I had like a mid-A in high school. So I'm like, how did I get dumber at chemistry? What happened? But anyways, the point is it's been a while. And I do remember very minimal in the class, so I'd probably be able to help her like in the beginning of the semester, but as it goes on, I probably won't be able to because I don't remember any of that. I mean, who knows? Maybe looking at it with her will jog my memory and it'll come back to me, but as it stands now, I don't know. Like, I know what a covalent bond is and an ionic bond. Ionic is like majorly strong. An ionic bond is salt. The sodium gives up its NaCl. Yeah, the sodium gives up its outer shell electron to give it to the chlorine, so that way then the chlorine can fill its outer shell, and then basically they become magnetized and stick together. So now when you try to split an ionic bond, that's basically when an explosion could happen, because it requires so much force to split the two. I mean, I don't think in salt that's going to happen, but like in the periodic table, as you go down the periodic table, then the bond is going to get stronger, and that's where you can have explosions. Anyways, where a covalent bond is where the outer electrons are shared, like water. Oxygen needs 2. That's why it's H2O, 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. So oxygen needs 2 electrons to fill its outer shell. Hydrogen needs 1 to fill its outer shell. So what happens is they kind of just share. Those 2 hydrogens temporarily give up their negative charge atoms to the oxygen so that the oxygen can have its 8 that it wants for the outer shell. But then at the same time, those electrons are swirling around and they'll hit those oxygens. So now each one of those oxygens will briefly get a shared outer ring as well. I mean, it's shared. The way I'm describing it sounds more almost like an ionic bond. It's not ionic, it's covalent. That's just kind of how my teacher explained it, but now that I think about it, I think they're all just there, and everybody's just kind of joining in and just being happy. Like, okay, I get what I need, kind of. But anyhow, because it's all just shared, it's a lot easier to split up. I mean, you can easily do an experiment in your chemistry class to break down water into hydrogen and oxygen without causing an explosion. So, like, I remember that. I remember the outer shells, you know. I have a general idea of the first, I don't know, probably 20 elements of the periodic table. Granted, that's not too deep, but I know what the, what are they called? Oh, man, what the heck are they called now? I don't know, the far right column. What is it, noble gases? Yeah, that's what it is, the noble gases. Neon, freon, xenon, all those. Those are the ones that have the happy, stable outer ring. So yeah, I know some stuff, but like the calculations, like, oh, what's the total mass weight of this? Like, I don't remember how to do that. Or knowing what's the other one? I don't know, there's something else that you can do too with the periodic table. I don't know that stuff. So, like, if my daughter in the future has a question on that, I don't know. I mean, if she wants me to help her, I'll look it up on my phone and see what information I can get and jog my memory. But offhand, I'm not going to be able to help her. Like, now I can help her because I know the stuff. Dad, what's 8 times 8? Are you serious? You should know this. 64. What are the planets in order? Are you serious? You should know this. I mean, her homework's actually a little harder than that. Those are actually easy compared to what she's doing. Her homework actually is like 77 times 77, which is what, 5,929, I think. So she's actually more advanced than that simple stuff. But even then, that I can do in my head. Because I know some tricks. Because I like math. And I've learned a lot of tricks. Like sigma. I don't know if you know what sigma is, but sigma is like that big E. Basically what sigma means is just add up everything. It's like factorial. Factorial is multiply, so 10 factorial would mean 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6. Well, a sigma would basically be an X, and then you have the limits that would say from 1 to 10, which means just add up 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 down to 1. Well, you can do that. But I always wondered, there's got to be a faster way, like 10 factorial. You know, there's a button on the calculator. You can say 10 factorial. There's no button to say, 10 sigma or whatever. But there's actually a formula, which I didn't know about. And the formula, which gives you the same answer, is n squared plus n over 2. So basically, sigma from 1 to 10 would be 10 squared plus 10 over 2. Or 100 plus 10 over 2, 110 divided by 2, 55. So 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 would be 55. But that's something cool that I looked up recently because I wanted to see if there was a shortcut. Otherwise, I was going to try to devise something myself. I mean, a few years back, I actually was trying to come up with something myself. I forget what it is now because I gave up on it. Life happened. I didn't have time to be doing math on my own. And who knows, maybe what I was trying to work on, there already is something that exists as a solution, but I was trying to come up with something of my own back in the day just because, like I said, I like math. Speaking of math, too, like, I want to try to study. I printed out a bunch of material so I can study to be an actuary. Will it ever happen? Not saying study. I'll study the stuff, but will I actually ever become an actuary? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, maybe. You have to get a couple certifications before you can even qualify to be an actuary. I think there's 5 tests to be like a full-on actuary, and you need to complete 2 of them first before a company will even hire you. So, but I always thought, hey, if I ever get around to this and I do finish those 2 tests, maybe. Because from what I hear, actuaries actually can make pretty good money. A few years back, this was a while ago, maybe around 2014, 2013-ish, somewhere in that range. I was job hunting, and one of the places I went to, I said that I was interested in being an actuary. It's been a while. I haven't even done any of the studying yet, but so far I've been satisfied with my engineering career, so that's why I haven't really tried to go hard on actuary stuff either. But anyways, I told the guy that I wanted to be an actuary, and he said, oh, if you got those skills to be able to handle that kind of math, and go that route. Don't be trying to get a job in in here in a machine shop or doing engineering or whatever. Because he was saying, like, he says, I guess his daughter was pulling in like $150,000 a year base salary. Plus, she would get a couple bonuses, like a hefty bonus around Christmas time, and another one like mid-year or something. And then he was like, and then sometimes, depending on how a job goes or something, she'll get a bonus, just a bonus that's equal to my yearly salary. Like, basically, he made it sound like overall, between her base salary and all her bonuses, she's probably pulling $250,000 to $300,000 a year. So, which I didn't know actuaries made that much. I mean, I just thought the position sounded kind of cool. But then I was like, holy crap, they pull money like that? But I've kind of gotten myself wrapped up in engineering, and I don't want to say I'm a pro at it, but I mean, I've got almost, 10 years experience now. So, like, I sort of know what I'm doing. You know, I'm decent at it, and I'm like, I don't know. Do I really want to start over as being an actuary and being the rookie who's only got 2 of the tests done out of the 5? At least now I'm not really a rookie. Like, I'm basically a SolidWorks master. I know a lot of the ideas of engineering. I'm not an expert with GD&T, but I'm familiar enough with it to get by, especially reading it. I don't really know. I'm not as expert at putting it on a print myself, but reading it, I can get by and understand what it's trying to tell me. You know, I'm good with design, with reverse engineering. I mean, geez, the job I have now practically is all about reverse engineering. I hate it. I got to reverse engineer everything, but you know what? It comes out right. I reverse engineer things, send the prints off to the customer. They always get approved because it's spot on. Or pretty dang close, if not spot on. You know, it's close enough that they approve it. So, yeah, it's kind of like, well, I've built myself into this industry now, so do I really want to start over on something else? And the answer is kind of like yes and no. Like, yes, I would for way better money. I mean, geez, that's like 4 times what I get now. $300,000 a year? Actually, that spot on might be 4 times. Jeez, yeah, that's like 4 times what I get. Holy crap. So, yeah, that would be nice, but then I'm like, I don't know, because then I think, well, you know what, though? Right now with my daughter and stuff, my job works well for me having her. Like, I don't have too much obligations. I go to work at 7:30 to 4. I don't really have to worry about staying late, missing time with her, going on all these business trips. And I'm like, a lot of times if a job pays you more, they're going to expect more. You know, your office hours might be 7:30 to 4, but you still end up working at home until 10 at night to get something done. Or else you got to go on this and that and the other business trip. And then I'm like, you know, what would that do with my daughter? Like, I don't want to interrupt my time with her to that degree. Like, I don't mind once in a while if it happens. Like, say I do have a business trip. I mean, I don't have any business trips at my company now because of COVID. But say when this nonsense clears up, I think there will be some business trips I'll take. I'm pretty sure there's a couple that the last engineer went on. Like I said, for now I haven't because COVID. Like, there's basically nothing to go to. Everything's all online anyways. But I think once things settle down and you can actually go places, there might be a couple. So yeah, maybe once in a while I have to rework my schedule with her mother. But, you know, that's once in a while. I wouldn't want it to be an all-the-time thing, though. And I feel like if I'm pulling $300,000 a year, they might expect that way more often. Like I said, long nights. Yeah, you get out of the office at 4, but then you go home and you're still working at 10, 11 o'clock. Like, that's no life. You know, it's like, yes, more money's better, makes your life easier, but at the same time, up to a certain point, it's like, well, where's the trade-off end? Cool, I make $300,000 a year, but I have no life. I can't do anything with this money because I work 7 days a week. Like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. At the same time, I could be way off. Maybe actuaries are super laid back. I mean, I've also looked it up, and I hear that people who are actuaries are actually very happy with their work. So who knows? Maybe it would be even better. Maybe there's a lot more like work at home opportunities. So there is no office and I'd never have to go anywhere. I'd just be home all day and it would be cool. I don't know. But anyway, still can't believe I can't remember my other topic. I've been trying to think of this the whole time too while I've been chatting about this other stuff. I had 2 dang topics that I want to talk about. There was one about it was updates from past casts that I made. The first one, like I said, was with the weather. I made the update on that. And then I had something else. And why did I forget this? Well, I know why I forgot it. Because I went on that dang tangent about the people driving like dickheads. And then I just got too into that, and I forgot to keep the other thing in the back of my mind. Well, I still can't seem to remember whatever my other topic was, which is annoying. Stupid bad drivers. They're the whole reason why I forgot my dang topics. I got distracted. But anyhow, I guess I'll just end on this one last thing. It's something random that Oh, hold on, let me back up. How do I want to phrase this? It's something random, but it's something that I always think about. And I figure I can probably talk about it. Like I said, it's something I think about all the time. So, and anyhow, what it is how I hate having a lot of stuff on me. So, what I mean is, like, one, I like to go shopping. I feel like I'm an untypical guy because usually shopping's supposed to be like a girl thing, but I like to go shopping. I mean, I don't really like to go like a girl. I guess they like to go clothes shopping. I don't know. I like to go to GameStop and Barnes & Noble and walk around Target for no reason, and then go to Walmart after for no reason, and go to Five Below and stuff like that. But anyways, sometimes maybe I buy a few things from a couple of different stores, and I end up with, 3 or 4 bags or something. And then that's what I hate. I hate getting home, and now I'm trying to lug up these bags of stuff. I got my keys in my pocket, my phone in my pocket, I don't want to call it a wallet. I don't really use a wallet. I just use a card wallet. I don't know what the heck you call it. It's really thin. It just holds my license debit card. One side has a screened pocket, which is what I put my license in. And the other side has 3 slots, so you can put, 3 credit cards if you wanted to. But for me, it's my GameStop card, a little card that my job made that just has everybody's phone number on it, and my debit card. So, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not a money clip. It's not a wallet. It's just a thing. I don't know. But anyways. So, I have that in my pocket, on me, however you want to phrase it. And then, say I have a drink, too. Like, not something that I can throw in the bag. Say I have, like, a Burger King drink or something. Something that I need to hold. Now, I'm trying to juggle that, too. And I'm going up the stairs. And then somehow, the wrong hand is always holding everything. I put my keys in my left pocket. And my money thing, wallet, whatever you want to call it, goes in my right pocket. And yet, somehow, I'm always holding everything in my left hand. So then when I get up the stairs, and I have 15 billion pounds of stuff in my hands, now I got to figure out how to use my right hand to reach into my left pocket to grab my key, or I got to dick around with putting it all down to get the key out and then just pick it all back up so I can go in. And then I hate it, because not only is there a process of trying to lug all this stuff in, but once it's finally in, now you got to put it all away. So it's a project and a half just to get it in, now I got to put everything away. And that's annoying too. It's kind of even more annoying when I have my daughter, because she still doesn't seem to grasp the concept of, like, I have things I need to do. We get home and she wants to start doing something, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Do you not see these 6 bags of stuff that I got to handle first? I mean, she was like this her whole life, but at least when she was smaller, it made more sense. She was little, like, okay, fine, you live in your own bubble. But she's 9 now, like, come on, you see that I have all this nonsense, like, what, I'm just going to chuck it on the counter? Oh, what do you want to do? But it's not only that. It's not only just buying stuff. I hate just if I have a lot of stuff on me in general. Like, I hate, like, say I have a lot of trash in my car. So what I mean is, I'm not somebody that drives around with trash in my car like some of these people. Their car is disgusting. But the situation for me is I like to recycle. I've been recycling my whole entire life. Like, I grew up recycling, and where I live now still offers recycling, so I do it. And, so, like, from my job doesn't recycle. When I was newer, I tried to pitch, hey, can we, like, look into recycling? Because we have recycling bins, but they're worthless because we don't actually recycle. They're just there for show, basically. Oh, look, we got recycling bins. Yeah, but it all goes in the same trash bag at the end of the day when our maintenance people come. I don't know what you want to call them. We have maintenance people that work for us all the time, but then we hire a cleaning company. I just call them the maintenance people. But I don't know. They come on every Tuesday and Thursday, and basically they just vacuum our floors. They dust for us not often. Like once a month they'll dust everything for us. They clean the bathrooms. They mop any tiled floors or whatever. Anywhere that doesn't have a rug, they'll mop. Like, they mop our kitchen area. They mop the bathrooms. They mop the doorway areas. So, yeah, I don't know what they're called. I guess just the cleaning crew, but I always just call them the maintenance people. But anyways, when they come, they bring their own gigantic bags and empty all of our smaller bags in everybody's office into it, unless the bag's gross, and they take it out and just change the whole thing. But, yeah, the papers just go in that bag as well. So, yeah, we have a recycling bin, but it's just for show. It's not actually for practice. So, anyways, I tried to suggest that we can get into recycling. And, I was told by our... I think he was the plant manager at that time. He was like, oh, yeah, actually, we have the contract we have with the place. They recycle for us. Well, I don't know, he had some kind of dumb excuse. Like, just trying to avoid it, basically. And I didn't want to get into it because I'm like, whatever. It wasn't really the time or place. It was just a suggestion I was trying to throw out there during an engineering meeting. Because we joined the APR, which is it's all about recycling. It's the Association of Plastics Recyclers. So I was like, why don't we actually recycle? We don't recycle anything. Our paper, plastic, nothing. It all just goes in the trash. So I was like, why don't we actually recycle? Then we have a little bit more cred with the APR. So, it's not like the little bit that we could recycle is going to make a difference. But still, it just looks better if we actually are recycling. You know what I mean? Like, we're not. Well, we're not in terms of the trash. I think in terms of plastic, we do recycle that, like the plastic that we don't use, I think. We recycle it in a way. We regrind it so we can reuse it ourselves. And then I think the rest we just sell off to, I don't know, some company or something. And then they regrind it and resell it or use it themselves or something like that. So there's recycling in that regard. But as far as like regular trash, paper, there's no paper recycling, no cardboard recycling, no... like the water bottles. We have water bottles that they supply us. Those are ones. A water bottle is a one. That's recyclable. PET. But nope, somebody drinks the water, they chuck it in the trash. So there's all that recycling that's getting disregarded. So that's why I tried to pitch it. But they were, he was kind of shooting it down, and I just didn't want to get into it. But anyways, when he said that, I thought, really? Really, bro, what, you think I'm a retard or something? Seriously, like, I'm the head of engineering. You think I'm dumb? Don't know what Yeah, this trash is going to get dumped into the dumpster, and then it's going to go to the place wherever the trash people bring it, and yeah, they're gonna just start digging through the trash. Well, let's rip open all these trash bags and see what's recyclable in here. What? Look, this is a water bottle. That's a one. That's recyclable. Like, no, they're not doing that. It's in a trash bag. It's gonna stay in the trash bag, and they're gonna just burn it or whatever they do. Nobody's digging through all that to recycle it. Like, I don't even know what the angle was. Either he was just trying to avoid the situation for the time being and shut me up so we can move on to a different topic, or maybe they told him that and he was dumb and believed it, or I don't know. If he did believe it, clearly he didn't think it through then. Like, oh yeah, that sounds right. They probably are digging through our trash and finding stuff that's recyclable. Unless they have some kind of weird high-tech facility that they just dump the trash into, and it can, it rips open the bags itself and sorts everything from there. But he didn't say that. He was all stumbly like I was. Like, well, I think they have some kind of measures so that they... And it was like, yeah, okay, bro, you can't even spit it out. Yeah, they really are recycling it for us when we just chuck it in a bag. And even if they did recycle it, once you chuck paper all together, if there's something wet in there and the paper gets gross, you're not going to recycle the paper because now it's contaminated. So if we properly recycled, it would all be recycled and there would be no dumb excuses. But anyhow, how did I get on this tangent? So when I was saying trash in my car. So, yeah, there's times where there's stuff at my job that I'll bring home because I just don't like how it's not going to actually be recycled. So I'm like, well, F that. I'll bring it home and then it will be recycled. So, like, for example, I had a lot of junk in my spare engineering room that I needed to go through. Well, it was a bunch of old parts that I just don't need anymore. At the time I needed them, but don't need them anymore. But it's all stored in cardboard boxes. Well, cardboard is recyclable, so I threw out the caps. And yeah, they were all caps, right? Yeah, I threw out all the caps. But the cardboard box, I was like, I'm not going to just throw this away. It's cardboard. And it's a good-sized box, too. It's not like it's a little tiny dinky box. I had 2 good-sized boxes. That's a lot of cardboard. So I brought those home. And then, like, if I say I go to Dunkin's and I get a drink, well, a Dunkin's cup is a 5. 5 is polypro. That's recyclable. Granted, it's kind of niche at this time. Not everywhere is recycling polypro. Not everywhere has the capabilities to recycle polypro, but technically it is. That's why there's a massive industry shift to move towards it. So anyhow, I like to recycle it. I don't know if my recycling does recycle polypro, but I'm still trying. I throw it in there. So anyways, I'll have like my Dunkin' cup that I bring home instead of just throwing it away. If I have a regular drink, like say a Body Armor or a Gatorade or something, that's a recyclable bottle, so I'll bring that home. What else? Sometimes there's papers. Like sometimes I'll print something, and the dang printer, well, I guess it's my fault. I'm not paying attention. But if it's like an email, then it like prints out another page of somebody's like signature or something on the email. You know what I mean? Like the professional signature, name, company, phone numbers for the company. And I'm like, dang it, I didn't need that. I just needed the main body of this stupid thing. So I'll take that home because it's paper. I'm not just going to throw it away there. So I take that home so I can properly recycle it. Yeah, so just a bunch of stuff like that. But anyways, sometimes I end up with a lot of crap in my car. Like just the other day, I had those 2 boxes. I had some papers. I had a couple cups. I had, what else? I feel like I had something else too. I might have had something dumb like a fast food bag or something. You know, the bag is still paper. It's recyclable. Yeah, the wrappers I don't keep. Sometimes I do, depending on how dirty they are. You know, like if you go to Burger King and have a Whopper, chances are your Whopper wrapper is pretty filthy between the mayonnaise and all the onions and tomatoes and all that. So, yeah, that gets thrown out. You can't recycle that when it's full of, you know, debris like that. But if you get something cleaner, like, say, a cheeseburger, sometimes it leaves the wrapper pretty clean. So you can recycle that. It's paper. Yeah, it's got a little wax on it, but it's still paper. It's still recyclable. So I think I might have had something done like that too. Anyways, so it's just annoying though. I get home and it's like I'm unloading my car with just trash forever. And then I still gotta load up everything else. I gotta grab my phone, grab my wallet thing, my keys. Ugh, I hate it. Or it's the other form of stuff that I hate when I have a lot of is clothing. Like, it's ironic because on one hand, I feel like in winter, I can dress myself up to look way better than I can in summer. It's like I can put a couple layers on, like a button-down shirt, and then maybe like a sweater vest over it, or something. And I feel like I can look pretty fresh versus summer. Summer is just like a polo tee and some pants, and like, I don't know. I never feel like I look as good in summer as I can in winter. Always. Not even now just because I'm bulky. I mean, yeah, being bulky makes me more self-conscious because I'm like, well, geez, now at least in winter, I can hide it better. I'm more layered up so I can kind of hide my bulk. Where in summer, it's just there. Like, hey, what's up? I'm huge. But even when I was smaller, I still just felt like it just wasn't right. Like, I feel like in order to look good in summer, you have to be like completely cut. Otherwise, you never look good. If your legs aren't completely shredded, then it doesn't look good with shorts. If your upper half isn't shredded, then short sleeves don't look good. That's just what I think. I don't know. That's kind of what I think of myself. I don't really judge anyone else like that. I don't care. It's just me. I'm overly hard on. I don't know why. But anyhow, yeah, so I feel like in winter I can look better. I can hide all that. It doesn't matter if I'm not super cut. My whole body's hidden by clothing. And, you know, like I said, I have like a bigger shirt on. So, well, not a bigger shirt, but like a couple shirts on. So like my bulk is kind of more hidden. So I feel like I can look better, but at the same time, it's annoying when I get home and I try to get undressed. It's like I'm standing in front of my closet for 45 minutes just trying to get undressed. First, I got to take my jacket off. If it's cold enough out, too, I got my hat on, so I got to take my hat off. I store the hat in a pocket in my jacket, so I got to put that in my jacket. Then I got to take the jacket off, hang the jacket up in my closet. Now take my belt off, hang that up. Then I take off my, like I said, say I have a sweater vest. Take off the sweater vest, hang that up. Take off the shirt, hang that up. Take off the pants, hang those up. Take off the socks, put those in the laundry basket. Now I still have on a t-shirt that I was wearing for the undershirt, so I gotta take that off, put that away, or throw it in the wash, depending. And it just feels like so much work just to get into my pajamas, basically. And I hate it. Because in comparison, summertime is this. Get home, take off my shirt, take off my pants, take off the socks and belt, done. There's no jacket. There's no tons of shirts. There's no nothing. And for the most part, I'm not putting on any other clothes either. Like in summer, so I wear ATs underneath my polo shirts and stuff. So in summer, most often, that's my pajama shirt. I either wear no shirt, depending on how hot it is, it's either no shirt or I'll wear an AT. Which the AT is either worn as a pajama shirt from the one that I wore all day under my clothes, or I'll put on a fresh one at night and then wear it the next day under my clothes. So anyhow, chances are I already have my pajama shirt on now after I take off my polo. And as far as bottoms, it depends. If I don't have my daughter, then chances are I'm just going to hang out in my underwear. So now I'm done. My pajamas are on. Underwear and an AT. If I do have my daughter, then I put on some pajama bottoms, which really are just boxers. I wear boxer briefs as my underwear, and I wear boxers as summer pajamas. But still, it's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Versus winter, when you're standing there forever. It's not really 45 minutes, but it's like a good solid 5-10 minutes just to get undressed and then put on my pajamas. It's annoying. I hate it. Even say on a day off. Day off in summer is so easy. T-shirt and shorts, basketball shorts and a t-shirt, done. No socks, no nothing. If I wear a cap, it's optional. It's just t-shirt and basketball shorts and I'm done. And like I said, if it's a day I don't have my daughter, so I'm just in the underwear, I don't even have any clothes to take off. Throw on the basketball shorts over my underwear, throw on the t-shirt over my AT, boom, done. And then when I leave, throw on some slides. That's my shoes. Simple. Versus winter, you got to take off your pajamas that you had on. Then you got to go in your closet, get some clothes on. Even if it's just sweatpants and a hoodie and stuff, you got sweatpants, hoodie, t-shirt underneath the hoodie. Now if it's cold out, you got the jacket, hat, socks, shoes. Ugh, I just hate it. That's one thing I always think about women. They have, nowadays girls don't really seem to. I don't know, but my mom, she always had a purse. And that's something I think about. I don't know how I would feel about that if I needed a purse, if I was a woman or whatever. I don't know if it would be annoying or if it would be actually convenient. Because on one hand, it's a lot of crap that I'm always carrying around, which I hate doing. But on the other hand, it's all contained right there in one pouch. So I'm maybe that would be not annoying. Everything's just right there. You just grab it and go. I don't know. But my brother, man, he carries around tons of crap on him every day. He's got dice in his pocket for no reason. He's got 6 pens in his pocket for no reason, 2 Sharpies for no reason. He has his phone, his wallet, which is way overflowingly bulging, not because there's tons of money, but just because there's tons of junk in there, business cards and receipts and all kinds of other dumb crap that he doesn't need in there, but it's just in there just because. And what else does he put in his pocket? Change. And change that he doesn't really need. It's not like he went shopping and got change. It's just his change bag that he has at home that he just always brings with him. And the thing's jam-packed full and heavy. But he's got that in his pocket and just tons of crap. And I always think, man, how does he tolerate that? I would hate that. I hate having 3 things in my pocket. My keys, phone, and wallet thing. Never mind having pockets jam-packed full with nonsense that I don't need like he does. I don't understand how he can tolerate that. But he does that every day for the past several years now. Probably more than several years. Probably decade. You can measure it in decades now at this point, probably. But yeah, it's just, I don't know how he can tolerate it, because I sure can't. Anyhow, I guess that's it. I think I got my point across as to what I meant. Right now I'm at my daughter's school for her basketball game, and I got some dickhead behind me. I'm not sure if they're a dickhead or if they just seem like it, but their lights keep getting bright seeming. I don't know if they're being a wiener for no reason or what the situation is, but I can't see because it keeps blinding me, and I'm trying to park, so yeah, that's it. And until next time, I said see ya.